Why do I feel more squishy than normal, especially in my middle? Nothing I'm trying is working. Why can't I lose weight? I'm having trouble sleeping and I'm tired all the time. Is this menopause? Hey, friend. These are just a few sound bites from some recent podcast listeners I talked to about their top hormonal struggles in midlife. It's no surprise that stubborn weight gain, belly fat, problems sleeping, and lack of energy, as well as motivation, topped the list. Because these symptoms can be traced directly to the number one hormonal imbalance affecting women in menopause and postmenopause: low estrogen. If you are OVER, trying to do all the things to lose weight while the scale keeps going up and up and up, if you absolutely refuse to go shopping for bigger clothes and just want to fit back into your favorite LBD, if you're tired of feeling tired all the time and want more energy to just enjoy your family and live life, then stick around. Today's short episode is jam-packed with juicy content and practical tips you won't want to miss. So take a quick potty break and do what you gotta do, because I'll be back in less than 90 seconds to break it all down. Welcome to Are You There Midlife? It's me, Monica. Hi, I'm Monica Topetti, wife, mom, health coach, and hormone imbalance survivor. And I'm on a mission to help women in midlife balance hormones naturally without drugs, doctors, or divorce. Are you tired of dealing with heavy, painful periods that look like a crime scene? Are you sick of struggling with anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog that... What was I just saying? Are you frustrated doing all the things to lose weight but still packing on pounds faster than a real housewife changes Birkins? Girl, you are in the right place. Join me each week as I spill the tea on what to expect in perimenopause and beyond. From IBS to insomnia, bloating to funky body odor, I'll unpack all the weird stuff happening inside our midlife bodies, plus give you the latest science and holistic solutions to manage it all. So ditch the Spanx and hop on board the Hot Mess Express. Let's do this. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. So today I'm concluding my 6 weeks to summer podcast series and diving into the number one hormonal imbalance in women in menopause and postmenopause: low estrogen. Just to give you a quick recap, in episodes 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 of this series, I unpacked 6 of the most common hormone imbalances contributing to weight gain: progesterone deficiency, estrogen dominance, hypothyroidism, elevated cortisol, adrenal fatigue, and PCOS. Plus, I gave you some practical tips to start balancing your hormones naturally and get your scale moving again in the right direction. In case you missed any of these other episodes in the series, I'll go ahead and link them in the show notes. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the 7th and final subclinical hormonal imbalance contributing to weight gain in midlife: low estrogen. Specifically, we're going to unpack what causes low estrogen, and is menopause the only cause? Myths about low estrogen, including low estrogen in perimenopause, low estrogen symptoms, including what HRT can and cannot do when it comes to alleviating your symptoms, as well as the connection between low estrogen, hormonal weight, and belly fat. Plus, I'll be sharing once more 3 of my favorite tips to boost your estrogen naturally just in time for summer. So grab your notebook and a little trail mix, more on this hormone boosting snack later, as we stir the tea on all things low estrogen. So, what's the deal with low estrogen? I mean, why is this happening to us anyway? Well, as we discussed in episode 12, low estrogen occurs as a result of the natural menopause process. So, most of us begin to experience fluctuating estrogen around our late 30s to early 40s. That's about the time we start entering perimenopause. Then, as our body starts preparing biologically for life post baby making, our ovaries continue to make less and less estrogen, especially estradiol, which is the primary estrogen needed for reproduction. It's important to note that while many women can still conceive and have babies well into their 40s, from an evolutionary perspective, our bodies are getting ready for post-reproductive life. What? Yeah. Actually, it wasn't until around 1920 that the average life expectancy of women in the US surpassed 54 years old. 54. I'm 54. I can't even believe that. Now, of course, many women lived past age 50, but that was the average life expectancy at the time, compared to over 80 years old today. So that's also why later in life pregnancies are often referred to as geriatric pregnancies. A lot of women didn't like that. Yeah, me neither. And so they've kind of developed a euphemism or a more politically correct way of saying that. Now they're called advanced maternal age pregnancies. Yuck. I don't know which is worse. But suffice it to say, by the time we hit postmenopause, which it's important to note that postmenopause is signified by 12 consecutive months without a period. So by the time we hit that, our ovaries are barely producing any estrogen at all. Which brings me to the first myth about low estrogen, which is your body stops producing estrogen entirely once you go through postmenopause. Wrong answer. Our body actually continues to produce estrogen, just much lower levels. And the primary production of estrogen moves from our ovaries to our adrenal glands. Why are we producing less estrogen? Again, we don't need that estrogen to make babies. So that's why doctors and scientists and everyone who studies female health refers to menopause as a very natural transition. Keep that in mind because we're going to be talking about HRT in just a bit. Myth number 2 about low estrogen is that menopause and postmenopause are the only causes of low estrogen. I don't know if we should blame doctors or the media or just some really bad TV shows, but wrong again. There are several conditions that actually can contribute to low estrogen besides menopause that can occur in perimenopause. Those are excessive exercise, a thyroid condition, pituitary gland dysfunction, an autoimmune disorder, primary ovarian insufficiency, which is also known as premature menopause, chemotherapy, and a hysterectomy. Now, I've actually had quite a few clients who told me they were in perimenopause, but were exhibiting a sudden onset of low estrogen symptoms after they had a full hysterectomy and were catapulted into what's called surgical menopause. So what are some telltale signs of low estrogen? Although every woman experiences symptoms differently, symptoms can include night sweats, vaginal dryness, memory problems, bladder infections and UTIs, fatigue, lethargy, lack of energy and motivation, painful intercourse, depression, hot flashes, dry skin and or hair loss, headaches, decreased sex drive and libido, mood swings, brain fog, difficulty concentrating or paying attention, diminished work performance, dizziness, incontinence, heart palpitations, and last but not least, stubborn weight gain or difficulty losing weight, especially in the midsection. Which brings me to the million-dollar question on everyone's mind. What's the connection between low estrogen and weight gain? First and foremost, estrogen regulates metabolism. So, the less estrogen you have, the slower you convert food into fuel, which results in fewer calories being burned and more food being stored as fat. Secondly, estrogen affects where we store fat. When estrogen levels drop, fat is often redistributed to other places in our body, especially the stomach. Wah, wah. Yes, in fact, in postmenopausal women, belly fat can account for up to 15 to 20% of your total body weight. Menobelly, anyone? Thirdly, if you seem to be hungrier lately, maybe it's because you are. Low estrogen can actually increase your appetite by decreasing the potency of CCK, a hormone that helps you feel full. Plus, low estrogen can actually impact your sleep, which in turn can increase your appetite. So let's say you have low estrogen. Is it serious? I mean, can low estrogen contribute to other conditions down the road? Yes. Beyond some very annoying symptoms that can affect your quality of life, left unchecked, low estrogen can contribute to more serious issues, including an increase in UTIs, vaginal atrophy, osteoporosis and bone fractures, as well as certain cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks, heart disease, and strokes. Okay, cutting to the chase. What is the treatment for low estrogen? When it comes to treatment, traditional medicine's recommendation for low estrogen is hormone replacement therapy. Now, it's no secret I'm not a huge fan of HRT personally. I'm super sensitive to any kind of hormones, and I'm just not comfortable with the side effects that come from too high levels of HRT or risks associated with synthetic hormones. You can check out episode 3, which I'll link in the show notes, if you want some more information on HRT before you decide if it's right for you. That said, I know some women for whom a hysterectomy and or HRT was an absolute godsend. So, you do you, girlfriend. Absolute zero shade here, okay? But just one quick myth I want to set straight when it comes to hormone replacement therapy and weight loss. It really doesn't help. And it isn't prescribed to help. While it's true HRT may help to alleviate some low estrogen related symptoms, stubborn weight gain isn't one of them. In fact, HRT can actually increase water retention and bloating, which can feel and look a lot like weight gain. So, what do you do if you have a family history, genetic predisposition, or pre-existing condition like breast or uterine cancer, blood clots, liver disease, or cardiovascular disease and can't take HRT? Or you're over the age of 60 and have high blood pressure? Or you don't want to take it for other reasons, like me? In our current traditional medical model, you're kind of SOL. But thankfully, there are a number of diet and lifestyle changes you can make to boost your estrogen levels, mitigate your symptoms, and even lose stubborn weight gain in menopause and postmenopause naturally. But before I share some of my favorites, Are you tired of being dismissed by your doctor or told your hormonal symptoms are just part of getting older? Are you frustrated by hormonal weight gain that just won't budge no matter how little you eat or how much you exercise? Are you ready to put the kibosh on frustrating symptoms like low energy, low libido, and low motivation and finally feel like yourself again? Then click the link in the show notes and take my free hormone quiz. Developed by 3 functional medicine doctors, this self-assessment uses hormone symptom profiling to evaluate your age, menstrual cycle, and symptoms for 7 of the most common hormonal imbalances in perimenopause through postmenopause, including low estrogen. This quiz is quick. This quiz is easy. This quiz is scary accurate. And best of all, it'll give you the clarity you need to finally understand which of your hormones are out of whack so you can begin to balance them naturally. Summer officially starts this week. Oh my gosh, but it's not too late to get your hormones under control so you can enjoy some fun in the sun too. Just click the link to get started. Okay, so what can we do today to start managing our symptoms of low estrogen and get the scale moving again? Just like in the case of all the other subclinical hormonal imbalances we've discussed in this series, in order to balance your hormones, put your symptoms into remission, and jumpstart resistant weight loss naturally, you need a holistic approach, one that optimizes your hormone production while returning your body to a state of homeostasis or body in balance. We do this by focusing on a diet rich in hormone healing foods and by integrating strategic lifestyle changes, including blood sugar optimization, targeted supplementation, sleep optimization and stress management, and hormone optimizing exercise, as well as prioritizing gut and liver health and eliminating environmental stressors like endocrine disruptors. I'm going to unpack exactly what this looks like in next week's episode. But for now, here are 3 quick lifestyle changes you can make today to boost low estrogen. Are you ready? Okay. Tip number 1, diet. Increase your estrogen naturally by consuming more isoflavone containing foods. Iso what? Hold on just a sec. Work with me. Studies confirm that eating foods rich in phytoestrogens and specifically isoflavones, which are a plant compound that exerts estrogen-like effects, is 50% as effective as increasing estrogen through synthetic hormone therapy, or HRT. 57% is effective. The richest source of isoflavones can be found in organic, non-GMO soy products like tofu, miso, tempeh, and edamame. However, since it's estimated that up to 94% of all soy produced in the U.S. may be genetically modified, in other words, not safe, you need to make sure to read your food labels carefully. Safe brands I recommend include Eden, Wildwood, Mitaku, and Tofurky. Additional foods rich in isoflavones include chickpeas, aka garbanzo beans used to make hummus, yummy, legumes such as peanuts, bet you didn't know peanut wasn't a nut, it's a legume, beans like soybeans, fava beans, lima beans, and pinto beans, split peas, and lentils. Also, pistachios and dried fruit like apricots, dates, and prunes. So you can make yourself up your DIY trail mix and take it on the road or keep it in your desk at work whenever you need a quick, healthy snack. Tip number 2, supplement with vitamin D3. Vitamin D3, or vitamin D, is a vital nutrient. It actually acts as a hormone in our body, and it communicates with all of our other hormones, including estrogen. Studies show that vitamin D deficiency can naturally lead to lower estrogen levels and increased symptoms of depression, hot flashes, mood swings, and more. What's more, vitamin D deficiency is pretty prevalent. Approximately 42% of the entire U.S. population is vitamin D deficient, and some other populations within the U.S. have even higher levels. Plus, vitamin D plays a vital role in helping to prevent many common age-related diseases and conditions in women over 40, including osteoporosis, diabetes, cancer, and yes, weight gain. I recommend taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 along with vitamin K and C iodine for maximum absorption. And lastly, tip number 3, exercise. Yes, you can actually boost estrogen levels naturally with specific exercise. I recommend a combination of resistance training along with bursts of high intensity cardio. This is also known as metabolic conditioning. Why? According to recent studies, bursts of resistance exercises have been linked to increased estradiol levels in postmenopausal women compared to cardio exercise alone. Okay, so what does this look like? What you want to do is you want to perform a circuit, like a circuit as in like several exercises in a row of weighted full body resistance exercises, squats, lunges, pull-ups, push-ups. Those are a great start, with minimal rest time in between for at least 30 minutes, 3 or more days per week. That's it. Then, if you want to boost your estrogen levels even more, you can integrate bursts of fat-burning exercises in between your resistance exercises. By fat-burning exercises, I'm referring to mountain climbers, burpees, plank jacks, high knees, even running in place. By doing that in between your resistance exercises, you're further elevating your heart rate. And by further elevating your heart rate, you're increasing your levels of estrogen even further. So there you go. It's a wrap on our 6 weeks to summer series, and specifically the 7 subclinical hormonal imbalances that may be causing your weight loss resistance. Next week, I'll be getting into the weeds of exactly what a holistic hormone program looks like, and I'll be sharing some of my best tips right out of my Own Your Shift coaching program, so you don't want to miss that one. Until then, high tides, good vibes, vacation mode on. Hey friend, can I call you friend? Because I already feel like we're friends in my head. Did this podcast teach you something, make you laugh, or feel less like an alien? If so, I would be so incredibly grateful if you could take just 60 seconds to rate, review, and subscribe. That is the number one way you can thank me and support the show. Until next week, stay cool and keep away from sharp objects.